So here we go, red lights on down in pit lane, and in 2, 1, they'll go green, and we get this Q2 underway. Here we go, green light shown in pit lane, and 12 cars battling it out for pole position in tomorrow's Saturday race here at Macau.
Lachey versus Bjork for the championship. Points up for grabs for the top 6 qualifiers here. And even if you're not a regular in the World Tour, you still score points. In other words, you can still take them away from those 2 drivers fighting for the championship. So think of, if you like, Josh Buchan or Max Hart or Lo Se-Ho that aren't doing every round within the championship. They can still take points away. There are the 4 Link & Co's that go out with Lachey ahead of Bjork and Urrutia 3rd in the queue. And this is Norbert Mikkelish trying to get himself into the right track position as well. The car of Marcin Khoir is the Link & Co there that slowed down and let the traffic go. But again, I'm interested as to why they've not put Urrutia out at the head of the queue, or put him, allowed him to work his way to the head of the queue, so he can there help to tow them around.
Brain's far better than mine are working down in the pit lane. There must be a good reason, but yeah, I would have thought exactly what you were thinking. But, we shall wait and see how it pans out. Jan Lachey on this out lap has gone overall best in Sector 1. That maybe just shows intent for this 15 minutes of qualifying. When there are points up for grabs, all of a sudden the bar is raised in Q2, and we're about to find out, unfolding in beautiful weather here at Macau. Sunny, lovely weather, and you talked about those grandstands down at Lisboa. They are huge, and great to see so many people looking forward to enjoying today's action. On this outlap, you know, Jan Lachey is showing intent, isn't he? Purple in Sector 1, purple in Sector 2, and this only the outlap.
So you're riding now with Ted Bjork. This is up to the Melco hairpin. And are we going to see drivers start to try and drop back in order to get clear track space, or get themselves onto the tail of the car for a tow? Link & Co's go through. Then you get the Hyundai's next. This is Lachey. So he's the first man through each sector. He's doing purples, but this is in isolation. They're not being compared with Q1. So as he's the first man to get there, then he is setting a notional absolute best. But it's the next lap, which is a flying lap, where they become rather more relevant. Over the timing line goes Lachey. Behind him is Bjork then. So Jan Lachey sets sail on his first flying lap of Q2. Ted Bjork behind him. And then it's going to be Santiago Urrutia, who's going to start last on the grid with 24 places to drop. And there's only 17 in the race.
So you have to make it count, and also you can't afford to put a wheel wrong with only 15 minutes in Q2. You've got to keep it very, very neat and tidy. Absolute critical concentration down towards Lisboa. Ted Bjork, 111, turns through the corner, so close to the wall on the exits of the corner up towards San Francisco Hill, and now onto the tight and twisty section of the Macau Guia circuit. Jan Lachey first through, then Ted Bjork, top 2 in the championship in that order. And maybe not surprising on this first flying lap in Q2. Mikkel Ashkener goes purple, so goes overall best in Sector 1. Jan Lachey goes overall best in Sector 2.
But let's see what Ashkener can do when he gets to that timing point. He's the next one along. He's riding with Bjork as he threads his way on towards Moorish. Yeah, Ashkener goes quicker than Lachey, but by 1,000th of a second only in Sector 2. Ashkener 1,000th quicker.
And then Jan Lachey, not surprisingly, Sector 3 complete, goes purple. What will Ashkener do, who is down there in 5th position on track? So he'll be through Sector 2 in a couple of moments. Ashkener has gone purple, and that would go with the rub of the green so far that we've had this weekend.
But he's not got to Sector 3, and others that were behind him have done. So has Ashkener got a problem, or is the transponder packed up? It was a slow 3rd sector of 40.9. He dropped about 10 seconds, which was either to let traffic go, or he had a little drama somewhere out of view.
10 seconds slower than you would expect him to be on sector 3. Therefore, El Ache has gone purple in sector 3 and 4 and is about to complete the first of the flying laps in Q2. Under 10 minutes of the session remain in Q2. That's the championship leader. Ultimate commitment on these qualifying laps from Jan El Ache. Goodness me, they come so close across the line. Purple in sector 5, as you would expect. 2:28.947. The championship leader, Jan, top of the times.
And have a look at that left-hand side mirror, now folded back. That's because he was right up against the barriers. So just brushed it. So El Ache 3/10 quicker than Ted Bjork, and that's the answer, is it, to Ashkener? He has hit something. Look at the damage. So that's why he was slow in the sector. It's because Ashkener roughed up against the wall and he's heading into the pit lane. So after a good weekend thus far, Mikkel Ashkener comes down the pit lane with a little bit of damage. Esteban Guerrieri comes in as well. So we didn't see the hit, but we've seen the outcome of it, and it's damage for Ashkener.
And we were saying in 15 minutes of qualifying, you can't really afford to have these kind of mistakes. That's going to be very, very costly, depending on how long the car is down in pit lane. The clock is counting down, and we have less than 9 minutes of Q2 remaining. Jan El Ache, top of the times with a 2:28.947, and it goes against the form over the course of yesterday and today, because Ashkener has been so impressive, and then pushing on that first flying lap in sector 3, losing 10 seconds, and then we find the reason for that.
And I think there's going to be some suspension damage, which is what they want to check. The bodywork you can tape up, but they want to get the wheel off and have a look to see if maybe a toe link has been damaged. So Ashkener, the boot opens up, mechanic clambers in, and they're going to kick out the bodywork. Subtle it is not, but time is of the essence here. 8 minutes to go. That's it. Out they jump, give it a kick, give it a whack, and the mechanic underneath trying to sort out the suspension. And this has got to be done in record time. So the next lap, interestingly, doesn't have terribly much in terms of improvements from El Ache, nor Bjork, nor Mikelic, nor Nestor Girolami, as it was like a one-shot roll of the dice. But I suspect if they give the tyres a breather, they'll be able to have another go within these 7.5 minutes.
You said, didn't you, as soon as we get underway, we need to put that banker lap in, and Jan El Ache did exactly that. You saw his commitment on the outlap. He was quicker than anyone else in, I think, 3 of the 5 sectors, and then put in the quickest time of all. But I'm not sure any of us were rather expecting this, because Mikkel Ashkener has been so good so far and so quick over the course of yesterday and today. And now it's all about getting the car turned around down in pit lane, getting it back out on circuit. TCR cars have 5 wheel studs on each of the wheels, so that process isn't the work of a moment to get the cars turned around down in pit lane. Max Hart comes into pit lane as well. Under 7 minutes remain, so we're almost into the second half of Q2.
El Ache has pitted and has gone to the scrutineering patch. The ride height checked, and the car then allowed back to the team. So, as Ashkener rejoins the session, bodywork still flapping. That's Josh Buchan, who is up to 5th. So, good effort this by Josh Buchan, 5th fastest. He has, as we've been saying, won a race outright this year, but in the World Tour. But Josh Buchan, 5th quickest. Lo Seho is up to 6th. So, right now, we need a lap time for Guerrieri, Montenegro, and Ashkener. And that's Nestor Girolami into the pit lane, and he is currently 4th in the times. But El Ache looking as though another 15 points is going to go his way. It's potentially a bank raid of a qualifying session this for him.
So it's kind of out, one lap and in, and it's going to be the same for the second half of the session, I guess. Jan El Ache down in pit lane. Ted Bjork in pit lane is 2nd. Norbert Mikelic is in 3rd position. Girolami in 4th. Buchan and Lo Seho complete the top 6. And all of them bar Josh Buchan down in pit lane at the moment in the top 5. Lo Seho still out on circuit, 196. That is the outlap for Mikkel Ashkener. and can't afford to have another little moment like that on sector 3. The margins are so tight, it's so easy to glance the side of the circuit, particularly on this twisty top part of the Guia circuit. But Ashkiner needs to get this very neat and tidy.
He does, but he's on a mission. I mean, you can see how much energy there is in the car. Mikael Ashkiner knows that he's running out of time here. 4 3/4 minutes are on the clock. So he was fastest, remember, in Q1, and at the moment he has yet to do a lap time. So El Aché currently fastest. He was 3rd in Q1. Bjork 2nd. He was 5th in Q1, and Mikelish 2nd in Q1 is 3rd currently.
4 minutes and 28 seconds of this session remaining. A thrilling final qualifying session of the year for the TCR World Tour. This is the event of Macau, traditionally the final meeting of the year, and traditionally a champion will be crowned come Sunday afternoon, and this weekend is no exception to this.
Ignacio Montenegro has done an absolute best in Sector 2, as well as a personal best in Sector 1. This is Ashkiner coming back down towards the end of the lap, and assuming that the car is well, he will stay out. And that suggests that Jan El Aché thinks he's done enough. Ashkiner goes on to a flying lap now then. So the man that was fastest in Q1 is currently 12th. That bodywork's going to rip itself off in a minute when the airflow really gets to it. Ignacio Montenegro is the other one to keep an eye to in Q3. Wait for the bodywork to go. There it is. Rips off, bounces off the barrier. So Mikael Ashkiner's new lightweight Hyundai gets down to Mandarin.
And he presses on. This is a committed lap, isn't it, from Ashkiner? And it needs to be. Jan El Aché cool, calm and collected out of the car, helmet off. His session is run. 3 minutes and 20 seconds just under of Q2 to complete for the Macau Guia race. 2 races, one tomorrow and one on Sunday here at Macau, and this is absolutely thrilling. Needs to keep it away from the circuit furniture, does Mikael Ashkiner, and that's the 186 car of Guerrieri as well. And Jan El Aché down in pit lane watches on, as we all do.
So this is Esteban Guerrieri about to do his first flying lap of the session, and as he comes now over the timing line, this will put him into the order for the first time. He's broken the beam, and up to 5th goes Esteban Guerrieri. So Guerrieri 5th, 2.5 minutes to go. This is Montenegro who goes by, and he's up to 4th. Ignacio Montenegro, Max Hart behind. Hart was 10th, Hart stays 10th. And then we need to look at Mikael Ashkiner. Now, we were talking about Ashkiner needing to improve, and right now Ashkiner has been slower in Sector 1, slower in Sector 2. He has done a personal best in Sector 3, but it's not really being pieced together in the way that he needs, and he locks up going into Donna Maria. So the plan here to be quicker than before has rather crumbled like an old woman's hip. It is not happening for Mikael Ashkiner as he comes down to the Melco hairpin.
It's not pretty either, is it? The bodywork at very strange angles on that car, but Ashkiner presses on. Personal best in Sector 4 up towards the final sector. Less than 2 minutes left of Q2, and Ashkiner really pushing on. Look at the body language of the car. Wow, what a thrilling lap this is. And you can only imagine that the car isn't perhaps handling as he would like in every sense of the word. The bodywork's still hanging off the right-hand rear quarter of the car. Up towards the line he comes. What's this lap going to be? Certainly it's going to be an improvement, but what's it going to be as far as position is concerned? Up to 7th is as good as it gets.
Yeah, as you say, it's better than nothing. It is an improvement. It does get him up the order. And right now, Max Hart finds himself on pole position for race 2. He's 11th in the times, but there's the Urrutia grid drop. I know it's a grid drop for race 1 only, isn't it? Forgive me. So Urrutia is going to be there for 10th in race 2. The grid drop's only for race 1. So Max Hart doesn't benefit in terms of qualifying order, does he? So Urrutia versus Hart for 10th, half a second between them. So Max has improved in Sector 3. And let's see what he can do. Nestor Girolami has just done an absolute best in Sector 2. And we're heading back now towards the right-hand fishermen's here. The Hyundai team looks on. So yeah, Santiago Urrutia with the 24 places to drop for race 1. But in terms of race 2, then if he's 10th, he stays 10th.
So checkered flag is going to come out in just about 10 seconds time here at a sunny Macau, and that will be the checkered flag on qualifying for the TCR World Tour final event, the event of Macau for the Macau Guia race. Checkered flag is out. Who's going to improve on this final lap? It's the battle now for 10th.
Yeah, Max Hart took the flag. He went quicker, but not quick enough. He needed another 1/10.5 to get ahead of Urrutia. So Santiago Urrutia is good for pole, it looks like, for race 2. And Jan Alaché didn't even bother going back out for a second run, so confident was he. And that is perhaps the mark of the champion, isn't it? He knows exactly when the car is as it wants it to be, and the confidence that nobody else can go faster. So he takes another 15 points. 10 will go to Ted Björk's second fastest, so 34 points becomes 39 in the championship. Jan Alaché hasn't won the title yet, but he's worked out where the trophy's going on the mantelpiece, hasn't he?
I think you're right. Yeah, prepare the space. We are one step closer to claiming this title, and Jan Alaché with that confidence, and that means something as well. Only doing half of Q2 is a big confidence thing. Girolami goes top, 2:28.640, and that came with an overall best in Sector 2, personal best in Sectors 3 and 4, and in Sector 5, overall best again. Nestor Girolami, I'm not sure we predicted that, did we?
We didn't see that one coming at all, and now, of course, Jan Alaché not out there, can't respond. So Girolami, right at the very end, goes fastest. Okay, that tweaks the championship situation a little bit, because it means that second is Alaché, third is Björk. The difference is only 2 points now, not 5. So Alaché still pulls away, but it's a 36 margin, not a 39 one.
It's never over until it's over, is it?
No. So Nestor Girolami, excellent effort to get pole position for race 1. Alaché second, Björk third, Mikulic fourth, Montenegro fifth, Guerrieri sixth, Ashkiner seventh. Urrutia gets up to 8th in the times, Marshminghar 9th. So Josh Buchan is going to take 10th, and therefore it is Josh Buchan who is going to be pole for race 2, ahead of Lo Se-ho, who got ahead of Max Hart at the very end.
Not a bad way to start the Macau Gear race, is it, for Josh Buchan, the Australian driver who has had a win in the championship this year. Lo Se-ho and Max Hart's 11th and 12th. Absolutely thrilling Q2 that for the TCR cars, the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour event of Macau and the Macau Gear race. We know the grids now for race tomorrow, the penultimate race of the championship, and we know the grid for the Gear race on Sunday as well. Congratulations happen down in pit lane. It's not just about the driver, far from it. It's about all of the work that goes in from the teams. Very, very professional, at the top of their game. And Ted Björk gets his helmet off, having completed Q2, finishes up in 3rd place for tomorrow's race.
Well, Nestor Girolami, fastest, he was 6th in Q1. Jan Alaché 2nd, he was 3rd in Q1. Ted Björk was 5th, and he's up to 3rd. Norbert Mikulic 4th, well, he goes backwards because he was 2nd fastest in Q1. Ignacio Montenegro up from 10th to 5th. Esteban Guerrieri up from 8th to 6th. Mikael Ashkiner drops from fastest to 7th. Santiago Urrutia is going to be the back for race 1 anyway, so he's 8th in race 2. And Marshminghar 7th drops to 9th. Josh Buchan 9th drops to 10th, but it's all right because that's pole for race 2. Lo Se-ho 12th, he was 11th, he is, and Max Hart was 11th, and he falls to 12th. So quite a bit of shuffling from Q1 to Q2 as you look at the final order. 2 10-lap races on the Guia circuit, unless we get a safety car, and they will be elongated to 12 laps.
That was fun, Matt.
I enjoyed that. Good qualifying session, that.
It really was, yeah.
It's always good when there's a big surprise at the end, and boy, did we get a big surprise at the end with that effort by Nestor Girolami.
There was a couple of surprises, you know, with Ashkiner in Q1 and then Girolami in Q2. You just can't predict anything at Macau, and that qualifying session is rather proof of that.
So the Trophy Queens await the cars, and on track at Macau. The touring cars then have done their work. that is that Q2 is our first part of the day without a red flag. They are back out on track tomorrow at 1:20 local time for the first race of the weekend for the Macau Guia race, the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour.
Just love this event. Stories unfold every year. Surprises come at Macau. It's the nature of the circuit. It's just what happens. It takes one tiny little error, as we saw for Mikael Ashkana, and all of a sudden the whole complexion of what you've seen so far can change in just a second. And I think quite a few people were thinking that Mikael would have been the quickest car in qualifying. One little moment and that all changes.
Yeah, and it was self-induced, wasn't it? He was looking so good in the sectors, made a mistake, damaged the car, and I think it is fair to say it was probably not 100%. They got it back out. Wasn't pretty, as you said at the time, but at least he was able to do laps. But he'll be kicking himself, I'm pretty sure, Mikael Ashkana, because he's given away what could have been, if not pole, a start on the front row maybe. And the car's got the pace, as Nestor Girolami has just proved.
Girolami, that's so impressive, isn't it? 2 overall best sectors for Nestor Girolami, 2 personal best sectors in Q2, and nothing particularly sparkling in sector 1. All of it added up to be the quickest time in Q2 and pole position.
Vamos, carajo! Vamos!
So the very happy drivers making their way through the paddock. Championship media delegate Fabio Rovaili, you just saw there he is in the background, pen in hand. I need a quote, he says. And the TCR
lovely
head
man.
honcho Marcello Lotti there as well,
isn't he?
Yeah,
lovely guy.
Now we make your fantastic time, eh?
2:28.640.
Sì, certo.
so there's the
Ciccio.
pole position award, the pole position time written for Nestor Girolami,
All yours.
and a delighted man he is too. Pole positions don't go his way terribly often, so great work. Nestor Girolami then is fastest. It's about time we heard, I think, from our pole position winner. Let's go back to Alex.
Bebu, the most critical pole position of the year, and you did it here in Macau. That lap was insane.
Absolutely. Nothing left on the table for sure, brushing the barriers many times. I knew that was all to play in the last attempt, and yeah, we did it. We put everything together. The car was always on the window. I just need to take this extra risk when it counts, when it matters, and this was the moment. So I want to congratulate all BRC team, Hyundai, Squadra Corsa, because they did a fantastic job. All 3 cars were with the opportunity to fight for pole. Was me, so I have no words to say thank you. And this pole, for sure, I will remember for a long time in Macau, because I think it was one of the most exciting pole together with Nordschleife.
Yeah, we're all going to remember it. Thank you, Bebu, and congratulations.
Nestor Girolami, a very happy man indeed. So qualifying for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour done for today. They'll be on track tomorrow for the first of the 2 10-lap races. 1:20 local time, the race will be underway. There's a championship to be decided this weekend, and 2 great races are in store as well. The action continues at Macau tomorrow afternoon.